Hi, this is Mandy, and I am here to do a home program for my client Chris, who specifically is working on better walking posture and some of the things that he's experiencing with his walking. So, the three things that this home program would help anyone with is the ability to look far on the horizon as they're walking, as opposed to looking straight down. Um, Working with near and far vision. And then the second thing is neck strain. So he's experiencing some neck strain. And then the third thing is just better upright posture. So it's really going to encourage more mobility in this part of the spine and allow more extension in the thoracic region, which is right here. Okay, so we're going to get going on that. The first thing is to work with the vision. So we're talking about being able to look far out on the horizon. So there's a thing called energetic switching points that can help with this. One hand is going to go on the abdomen. The other hand is going to go at the base of your tailbone. So you're at the base of your spine, your tailbone, which is otherwise known as your coccyx. So you're really going to get down here pretty low and rub it. If it's tender, then that's a really good sign that you really could use this one. And then we're going to switch hands every once in a while. So this particular switching point helps with visual inhibition with near and far. So that's why that's specifically why I'm doing this particular one. Switching. Switching. When we switch hands, it integrates it with right and left side of the brain. So you're going to do this for at least 30 seconds, maybe up to a minute. And you can experiment with looking at far off distances and near distances and see if it feels easier the longer you rub. If you're noticing any challenges with it and it feels better over time, then that's a sign that the switching point is really working for you. Okay, so we did that. The next thing we're going to do is just some cross crawl to integrate it. If there's any integration issues with that, or any integration issues going on in standing position, cross crawl will really help with that. So I would recommend doing this for at least 30 seconds or keep doing it until it feels easier. If it's not feeling easier and you need breaks, go ahead and take breaks. But the whole point is to have the motion of, this is basically an accentuated version of walking. It really helps with coordination and integration, left and right side of the body. Okay, so now we are going to get to the floor and we're going to do some things to loosen up the spine and neck. All right, so I'm going to tilt that. I'll work on editing that later. All right, so we're going to lay on our backs. Okay, with our knees bent. Arms just relaxed. We're just going to let the spine settle here. And if you have, if this is really bothering your neck, meaning if your chin is far away from your chest, you're going to need to get a head cushion under your head so that you have more of a neutral neck position, okay? All right, I don't need that, but some people might. So, although maybe it could be a little better, actually. So, bringing my awareness to my knees, you're going to just slowly drop your knees to the right and to the left. And the point of this is to loosen up the low back. We are going to actually work up to the upper spine, but right now we're going to do some things to improve the low back. This will help the relationship with the pelvis and the upper body. So I don't want to We could do all this stuff in the upper body and skip this, but for my client and for many people, it's a lot about the relationship between the pelvis and the upper body. It's not just about the upper body being tight or, you know, immobile or whatever. All right, so you've done that a few times, and then what we're going to do is bring the knees back to center, and we're going to move the tailbone back and forth. So look at my tailbone. It's really just a pelvic tilt. I'm pushing my tailbone down into the ground, and I'm lifting it up, pushing it down, and lifting it up. Inhale if you can on this one, and exhale. And it doesn't have to be this big. It could be even much smaller movement. I kind of do big movements so that it's easier to see what I'm doing, but it doesn't matter. The smaller it is, that's just wonderful. That's great because you're now getting even more dialed into the location and really feeling what's going on there. So less is more. So playing with that pelvic tilt. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is grab a felt pad. For you, that's going to be a towel, but you're going to put a rolled up towel under your low back. I'm lifting my butt up. This is the best way to get in. Once you fold up the towel the right way, put it to the side, and then lift up and put it underneath you. And what I'm doing, oh, I can see, can't really see it, but I'm putting a little roll right here under my low back. I'm going to fix that. There we go. So putting this little curve in my low back so it feels like I have a curve there, and it's just basically putting the curve in where I already had a curve. It shouldn't be forcing your back into a more rounded position, like a really big arch position like that. We don't want that. We just want a little bit of support there. And just relax here. Notice how it's feeling. Maybe it's easy to let go in this position and it feels natural and normal. Then you don't need to stay here too long. Or it feels like, wow, I'm feeling my spine is really struggling to adjust to this, and you might want to just sit there for a little while and really allow yourself to soften into it. Okay, the next thing, once you have that, the next thing you're going to do is take your left knee and lift it up towards your chest and hold on to it. The thing is that I could bring my knee way farther to my chest, but if I do that, my butt starts to lift off the ground and my back starts to flatten. So my point is I'm only bringing my knee up as far as I can while keeping this curve in my back the same as it was when my feet were on the ground. And that's just going to isolate the stretch more into the hips. So I'm just going to hold there and breathe. And if you can feel it doing something, just allow it to do what it needs to do. Then I'm going to take my leg my foot that's on the ground, and I'm going to straighten it out. And then I'm going to very slowly put my hands on the outside here, and I'm going to start to bring my knee more across my chest a little bit. Just a little bit. And my client was having a little bit of issues with moving his knee this way, so I told him to just hang out here and let it relax first. And once you feel like, okay, it feels more relaxed, then you can bring it across. And it's not a big movement, as you can see. It's not about getting it over. It's about stretching a little bit here while keeping this curve in the low back. Okay, then bring the knee back to center and put the foot down. And then we'll switch and do that on the other side. I'm going to bring my right knee up, but remember, keep the low back as it is in this neutral position. All right, then I'm going to take, actually just hang out here. Just relax. I'm going to do that again just because I want to see how it feels.
Okay, and then I'm going to take the left foot that's on the ground, straighten it out, and when my right hip is relaxed and ready, I feel I can bring it across my body. You can do it with the knee. The knee could be lower. If you're starting to feel anything that's uncomfortable, you can just hang out and relax, or you can bring that knee more across your body, or further away from your chest, I mean. Okay, then bringing the knee back to center, putting the foot on the ground, and there we are. Okay, so now we're going to push down with the feet to lift the hips up, take that away. So we prepared the low back, and now we're going to roll onto one side, and I'm going to get two things. This is, you can use a blanket for your head, or I have these two blocks. And then I need that rolled up towel or a felt pad. And you're going to lay on your side like this. So I hope you notice that this is not up in my armpit, it's just below it. So I need at least about a hand's width from my armpit. It's not right up in the armpit, it's down from that. In fact, for a woman, it's right about where the bra strap is coming across. Anyway, once I'm there, I'm just going to relax. I can put my arms out in front of each other, and I'm just going to let my head be heavy and soft. And I'm just going to relax. I'm going to take my arm away just so you can see. Maybe you can see it. What is happening here is it is pushing my rib cage up, and then this rib cage is having to expand. So it's basically putting a lateral bend in my spine, and all I need to do is relax and let go. There's no effort required here. The point is to soften into the position, to allow your spine to take the shape of the roll. There's no work. It's the art of allowing. And it might feel uncomfortable. And if you first get into the position and it feels uncomfortable, then you really want to take a few deep breaths. Consciously relax where you can, and just give it some time and space and see if your spine starts to soften after a while. If it doesn't, you need to make the roll smaller. If it does relax, then you can be here. And the goal is to be here for about 2 solid minutes. You can be aware of your neck and your face and your jaw. Or is there any tension there that you can let go of? You can have the top arm out in front like I had earlier. You can also have the arm more over here or resting on a block. This can be nice because it can give a nice stretch. But the point is you don't want to make it uncomfortable for your shoulder, your neck. All right, we're going to bring the arm down, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. This is a great opportunity to breathe into your rib cage, to feel the breath moving throughout your body, to use the breath to nourish the pose, and to feel the breath in the back body, the rib cage. All these places where we don't necessarily always pay attention to breathing. On the exhale, you may notice that your body relaxes a little more deeply into the pose. Just notice how the breath affects the pose for you. If you feel the breath mostly on the front of your body and not so much on the back body, or more on the, or you don't feel it on the sides, try to direct your breath into those places. Not make your breath bigger and more strong and powerful, but to feel the breath in moving into places where it doesn't normally go. We're directing it there. We're not making it bigger. We're just trying to feel it in places where we didn't feel it as much before. Okay, I hope that's about 2 minutes. If it isn't, pause this video and do it some more on your own. Okay, now we're going to come out of this. I'm going to take the roll away. Stay laying on your side, and we're going to do a twist. So bringing the top arm up towards the sky. One way to make sure you're stacked, sometimes we start off already back like this, so you want to make sure your hands are stacked on top of each other. That stacks everything. And also you don't want your knees to be way up here or way down here. We just want it to be about 45 degrees. It can affect your low back. We're trying to get more of a neutral low back. So now we're going to take the top arm up towards the sky. We're going to relax the arm bone down in the shoulder socket. We're going to bring the arm back a little bit, but not as far as we can go, just a little bit to where it starts pulling. We can feel the weight of it. And you might already feel a pec stretch, and that is great because this does stretch the shoulders as well. But we're going to relax the ribs and let the ribs fall back behind us. So the point is to think of the rib cage as a barrel, and just the arm is pulling it down, and let it go without taking the hips. So you don't want the knees to come up like that, and you don't want your hips to come up. You just want to allow the spine to relax and let go. I do have to do some work up here to keep my arm holding up. Otherwise it would just go like that. So there is some shoulder work involved here. And the head, it should move, but it should move as a result of the spine. We're not turning the head. The head is falling back because of the spine falling back. Okay, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do that one more time. I like doing it twice so you can kind of really get it dialed in and kind of feel what we're supposed to do here. Bring the arm back and then relax the ribs. Now it might take some time. You let the breath do the work. It's not a big movement. Notice where you feel this. Notice everything you can notice. The point of this is to loosen up this area of the body. One thing we notice about my client Chris is that when we do side bending and we do twisting, he always gets a lot of more freedom in his neck, and so that's why these two moves are really important for him. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Maybe it'll be fun for you to see it on the back side. It looks a little different. I don't know. Again, start with your hands touching each other to make sure your shoulders are stacked. Lift the top arm up. Relax the arm bone down in the shoulder socket. You can lower your arm down. I don't want any discomfort in the shoulder. let the arm fall back, and then let it take the rib cage with it, keeping the knees and hips stacked on top of each other. We're relaxing, we're letting go. Breath is flowing. This side feels different for me than my other side. So I'm just observing that, letting my breath flow through the pose. Now we're going to bring the hands back together. We'll do it one more time. Arm lifts up to the sky. Relax the arm bone down in the shoulder socket. Lower the arm. Bring it back a little bit. And then right now I start feeling my ribs fall. Just let the rib cage fall. And if your rib cage doesn't fall as much as you think it should, that's okay. It's not about getting it far. Just stay where you are and let the breath relax you. I've seen many times where people don't move very much, but then when they start breathing into the pose, they start to soften and relax. And they start to go further back than they thought they could. Breath is extremely powerful in allowing us to let go. Okay, I'm going to bring the arms back together. Okay, last but not least. Okay, the last move is I'm going to take the felt pad and I'm folding it in half. And that is where my thoracic spine is going to be. And then I also need a cushion for my head. All right. You might need 2 cushions or 2 blankets for your head cushion. It will depend on the way your head is oriented. So, okay, we're going to lay back on it, and I hope you notice I'm putting the felt pad right about, for a woman, I'm right where the bra strap is. For another way to think of it is, feel where the base of the sternum is. It should be directly opposite of that. So it's right about in the middle of your back. And then I've got a head cushion for my head. So what's going to happen is this is popping the chest open more. And for some people, that's going to make the chin do this because there's not so much mobility here. And so it'll get the mobility out of the neck. So the chin's going to fall back. We don't want that, which is why we would use something else. I'm going to put this little block here. I would put another cushion here for somebody whose chin is poked back. But you don't want your chin to be like the way mine is right now with the chin coming down to your chest. We want it to just feel pretty much in line with the spine. So pick the right head cushion for you. I think you'll know what that is, but it should feel like there's an opening here. There's a little bit of a back bend, and that's all we're doing is we're just laying like this and giving our spine some time to adjust to this position. And you're going to lay here for a minute, 2 minutes, just allowing this position to settle. And once you have that, we're going to add a shoulder movement for this. So we're going to bring our arms up to the sky, relax the shoulder blades down, and we're going to just let our arms fall back with gravity, very slowly. I'm only going as far as my shoulders can go without pain or discomfort or tension that is developing in the back of the shoulder, in the neck, in the face. If I start to feel tension, then I need to stop and breathe and really pay attention to what's going on in my body. Then I'm going to come back up and do that again. I'm doing it a few times. And you can hang out in any one of these places. If it's bothering you, you can, this is another option, is to do it in this direction where with the elbows bent. This can feel better for some people's shoulders. It tends to be easier. All right, and then once you've done that, just lay here and we're going to do a very gentle neck turn. Turn the head left to right. Just allowing the neck to feel free here. And then that's the end. All right, then come on up, stand back up, notice how you're feeling. Walk around, notice if it feels different than before. I hope you had a great time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.